Hello, BlessedPod listeners. Hope you're all well. This is Ali from the future. Just a heads up that this was recorded mid March 2020, but there's still a lot of life and business advice in this. Happy listening.
Hello, welcome everyone to another episode of BlessedPod. Here again, back at it with Ali, my sidekick. Actually,
Hello.
we're partners on this one.
Partners.
Yeah, not so much sidekick, but yeah.
Sidekick.
Yeah, we got another guest this weekend. We got another guest today. Sorry, I know him from way back. Actually, way back, not so much way back, but actually known him for just a touch over a year. You might know him because he's like my boss in Inner Beast Clothing, so a lot of people know me working there. Still work there. Still love the brand and stuff like that. Trying to support this guy, with his dream and his goals and the whole business plan and stuff like that. But yeah, met him. He's fortunate to give me a role in Inner Beast, doing what I do there, helping him out, like I said. But I wanted him on today because he's got a lot to share. Being some guy from the area, little do they know he's actually grew up in the area as well, and he's made something of himself. That's not really something you see a lot, or it's a struggle to get out from the area. But yeah, without further ado, I'd like to introduce everyone to John. Welcome, John.
Welcome.
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm glad that I get to share my first podcast.
Yeah. I'm really happy to
good.
have you, bro. I guess this was highly anticipated. I know you're a super busy guy. I guess had an idea when I'd be able to have you on. But yeah, thank you so much for taking the time.
busy.
Anytime. For you guys, anytime. I'm really happy to kind of be able to support your dreams as well, because knowing Jono for over a year, like I know how hard he works personally.
That's so good to hear, bro.
Yeah, and
I love it, bro.
Yeah,
I appreciate
it's
it.
good to be here.
Appreciate it. Because you're saying that, but I look at you and see how hard you work, and I'm like, bro, you're saying that about me? Like, really? Like, you think so, bro? But I appreciate it heaps, bro. But like I said, really glad to hear to have you here today. We'll go through some questions, I guess, but it'll more or less be just like a conversation. But we've got some questions to kind of keep things on track. But we usually like to start off with some of the basic, I guess, intro questions, because like BlessedPod, like what would... how would you... am I butchering this? Okay, I'll just read off the phone here. Name 3 ways you are blessed today.
Today, well, with the whole coronavirus scare,
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I think the first thing that comes to mind is like my health.
For sure.
I'm glad, I'm glad that there's, I don't know, health problems, at least as far as I know.
100%.
We'll see again in 14 days, but for now, like I'm healthy. I'm able to
Just be you.
yeah, just be
Just
me
be
and
you,
like
alive, be with your family, be with your dog.
yeah.
Wait,
be
can
with my
dogs
dog.
catch corona?
Um,
Hopefully not, eh?
I don't
Isn't it
know.
from
That's
an
just a
animal?
thought, eh?
Yeah.
Is it just in
It
humans?
was from animal. Like the
is it?
virus was from
Okay.
animals.
Yeah,
Okay,
I've
good.
heard something like that. It's like from those wet farms or
Okay.
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
I'm just thinking about it because like dogs, humans, hopefully, are they immune to it? No.
Well, I've heard that it kind of morphed between like different animals or something.
Oh, shit.
I don't know. I
No,
don't know.
you're
Don't
definitely
quote
right.
me on
But is
this.
your dog safe though?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Okay,
my
cool.
dog's safe.
Just making sure,
Yeah.
man. I
Yeah.
know you love that dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, I've got like a really small fox terrier, and she's kind of like the center of my world, and then
Yeah.
around that is my family, and then outside of that's my friends. So
Yeah. 3 ways that you're blessed. So healthy, family, like all that type of stuff.
yeah.
obviously.
So the second would be family. Yeah. I've been blessed to have like a really supportive family.
For sure.
That's
Especially
good.
when you're running a business. I think one of the hardest things is to have like a really good support network around you.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many times when like I felt like hanging the gloves up.
Yeah.
And I got some freaky stories like where okay, here's one.
Yeah,
I'll just
go.
go off
Let's
on a
just
tangent right
do
now.
it. No,
right?
no, let's do it.
But one time I was so set to quit Inner Beast. This is I think 2 years in. 2 years in, I was making hardly any sales, and like I was putting in like 14, 15 hour days each
Yeah.
day. Like and yeah, I mean I wasn't making any sales, so I was just ready to say, you know what, screw this. Like I'm
Yeah.
done with this. Like I'm putting in all this work and like I'm not getting anything out of it. So I was set to close up shop, and I didn't tell anyone this.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
At the
but-
time, right? Yeah.
yeah, at the time. I didn't tell anyone this, and one day, like, my mom bursts into my room, and she goes, "I just want to let you know that, like, I just want to tell you to keep going, like, to not to quit." She was just like saying these.
Shout out, Mum.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was just saying these like all these things that I needed to hear right then and there, without me needing to like open up to her, I guess. Because
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I don't really open up to people.
Yeah.
I think that's one of my weaknesses.
Yeah.
But no, it was a freaky moment because
And how old are
that-
you at the time?
so I think I was 24.
Right.
Yeah, so this was I was 24 at the time,
Yeah. Shit.
and I was studying and I was working at the same time. So it was a lot of pressure.
So working part time, studying full time, and
Yeah.
trying to do Inner Beast.
Yeah, in
Fuck,
between.
man.
So
Wow.
like there was no sleep, there was a lot of energy drinks, and at the time there was no sales. So
Yeah. Right.
it was perfect timing, because if my mom didn't randomly burst into my room, I would have quit then and there, 2 years in.
That's crazy.
So
Like when
yeah.
you didn't know you
Wow.
needed it, that's when it sort of happened for you, and then it like literally refueled
Yes.
like everything. Like
Yes,
the
yeah.
whole operation.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah. So
to hear.
like because it was such like a creepy moment to me, like it kind of reignited this fire that like
Yeah.
I remembered the whole reason why I started in the first place, and I was like, you know what, like if I'm gonna create a brand that's about like never giving up and like putting in all like persisting,
Yeah.
then you know who am I to hang up the gloves right now?
Yeah,
like
that's
what the hell am
true.
I thinking?
That's
right?
true.
Yeah, so that's number 2. I've got way more stories about
Yeah.
like family support, but we'll talk
Yeah.
about
We'll
that later.
dive into it. Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
3. Let's see. I think like outside of the family, it's like the people who support me outside of my family. So
100.
like Jono, I've known you for a while. I think you're one of the people that I can kind of I feel like I can kind of talk to you about like hard times and challenges because we've been through a lot.
For sure.
Just kind of talking about our goals and our dreams, and like we've seen each other's struggle.
Yeah. For sure.
I think that's probably I mean the people around me who support me, who I can kind of rely on to hold me up,
Yeah,
like
for sure.
when things get hard. So my close friends, my partner as well. Those, I think those 3 are the most. I think the strongest way is like I say that I'm blessed right
Yeah.
now.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bro,
because
like that's huge.
No,
Like
it's
100%. Like that's it. And I totally agree with you because it's not easy to be in the situation, and especially when the road you really take is it's one of those roads not a lot of people take. So it's like a lonely road.
yeah,
And then you're there trying to sort out and figure stuff out for yourself. So when someone catches wind and you're trying to like, help each other out, it makes things a lot easier. So you don't feel you don't feel lonely.
yeah,
I guess on that
Mhm.
path.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, why would you say, because of those answers? Oh, you kind of explained them already.
Yeah, you explained them.
Yeah. Have you always felt like that? Like, I don't know if you grew up always like, were you like, or was it more so outside of in outside of high school into adulthood you kind of shifted or like your mindset or have
Into
you always felt
entrepreneurship.
yeah or like
Like,
yeah
have you
yeah
always felt blessed?
yeah have you always felt like blessed?
Yes. Um, I've always had a very supportive family. So,
Mm.
and I've always been blessed with having really good friends around me. Um, uh, yeah, I mean, I would say like there hasn't been too many moments in my life where I felt you know I couldn't see the blessings in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think yeah, I think for the most part, like sure, there's all these challenges around me, and like there's struggles, especially like um, you know, growing up in a single parent household.
Yeah.
There's a lot of struggles, but when you've got like when you've got a good support network around you, it's hard to ever say that you're not blessed, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
That's-
yeah,
that's
I, mean,
good.
I would say for the 28 years of my life, like I've been pretty damn blessed.
Yeah, fucking no,
That's
28.
good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good to hear, bro. As far as like, diving into, I guess that probably ends like the intro questions and stuff like that. I guess we'll start.
Going into the real stuff.
We're getting into the real stuff now. This is the meat and potatoes of the whole thing.
Potatoes.
I usually like to start off with, like who is the man, like who is John, who is the man behind Inner Beast Clothing? Like who is
Okay.
that guy? I know he's changed a lot. He's morphed and evolved since
yeah,
since day one to chapter 50. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like who is he?
Okay, well, when I said the person who I am today is definitely not the person I was I'd say 5 years ago
Yeah.
when I started
When you
in
started
the
in the
beast.
Beast.
So when I started, I was a very very shy kid.
Yeah,
I was scared of the world, and I think it was more like like I had a lot of like chips on my shoulder.
yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of put a lot of pressure on myself to be a certain person, right? I
Yeah.
was trying to fit the mold of like, you know,
The
all the cool
ideal-
kids like
Ah,
around,
right.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I just felt fake.
yeah.
And yeah, I mean,
This is when you started in the Beast.
yeah, this is when I started. I mean, I'm kind of just starting at that point in my
Yeah,
life
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
that I think that's how I kind of navigated my way through the first, I guess, 22 years of my life.
Yeah,
I was trying to just fit in and
Okay.
you know, please everyone, and like it's not that I didn't want to be like you know, a nice person to people. I like
Yeah.
being a nice person to people, but it's more like I was big. I was saying yes to everything and everyone just so that I can you know, look good in their eyes, and
Yeah.
I think like that was really hard for me to deal with because it just wasn't who I was as a person. Yeah, so I start this Inner Beast clothing journey, and in the process, like I go through a lot of personal development, and the personal development was through a lot of books
Yeah.
and a lot of experiences, and also the people that I meet. I think the people that I meet like has changed over time.
yeah,
For some reason, like I learned so much from like all the people that I meet now. Maybe it's because I'm more aware of like the good qualities of people and things that I kind of want to incorporate in my own personality,
yeah,
which is more of who I am. But yeah, the person that I am today is someone that's continually trying to just trying to be better, like better than yesterday.
yeah,
I think there's no more. I'm no longer trying to just please everyone. I think I'm also not trying to compete with anyone else.
Yeah.
It's more about just trying to be better than who I was yesterday, and I've got a long way to go. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I know that. But yeah, the person that I am today is someone that is really driven to just be better than who I was yesterday.
Yeah,
That's
for
so
sure.
good.
100. Was there something you wanted to add? Okay, cool. Yeah, the reason why I asked all that is because like a lot of people would ask me like who does Inner Beast, and like yeah, just me and the founder, me and the director. They're like, wait, what? Like that's sick. What the? Just used to blah blah blah. Like that. But a lot of people think it's like a 10-15 man operation, bro. It's crazy. And this guy, it's all him, man. Like it's all crazy. It's so good. Like he wears all the hats and everything. That's why it's so crazy. But yeah, just diving into sort of I guess the next question here. Like how did it all start at the time? I know like super ambitious, early 20s and stuff. Like how did it all start? Like what inspired obviously Inner Beast and who helped along the way? You don't have to, you can just answer in whatever order, but like that.
Yeah.
Sort of the guide there.
So before Inner Beast, I was actually trying out a bunch of different other business ideas.
Yeah.
They never took flight or anything. I think that was more just because I didn't have a passion behind the businesses that I was starting. So I had a car wrapping business, which is
nice.
so random.
Nice.
But I didn't. I'm not that into cars, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't really have like. I don't really have like. I'm not like a diehard fan.
Yeah, right.
So I couldn't see myself in that industry.
Yep.
I also had a 3D printing business. I still have the 3D printer at home.
Yeah, nice.
And that didn't take flight either. And that was also because I couldn't see myself having passion behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a few years before Inner Beast. Inner Beast started. I remember I was like sweeping the floors in Woolies. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was working at Woolies at the time,
nice.
and I was in the seafood section, and I'm cleaning up, and like I was like, you know what? I really want to create a I just want to create things for people.
Yeah.
Right? I want to create something that people can appreciate and enjoy, and I kind of want to incorporate it into something bigger than just clothing. So I'm a big fitness enthusiast. I think like fitness is a great metaphor for any successes in life, because when you with any fitness goal, it doesn't matter if you're running or you're lifting or you're doing MMA or anything. Like it always starts with a goal of just at any type of goal.
Yeah.
And every day that you go and train is like a day that you're working to progress and develop yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the best parallel to any type of success. Like you
right.
set a
Yeah.
goal, and every single day, like you turn up and you put your 100% in.
Yeah,
If
100.
you don't put your 100% in, then you kind of cheated yourself.
Yeah,
And,
right.
like you get to your destination a lot slower. Went off on a tangent there, but
Yeah, no, that's all good.
That's all right.
that's kind of the core behind Inner Beast clothing. It's about like mixing and blending fitness with motivation. And so when it started,
Yeah.
I had some shocking looking products. They were really bad. Like
You didn't know what you were doing at the time, bro. That's weird.
no,
Yeah, see?
I didn't. They were awful. I've got to put it up on the website.
Yeah.
But they were shocking.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to get started because, when I kind of set a goal, like I'll just start then and there.
Yeah.
And so when I was sweeping the floors in
Good old
Woolies,
Woolies.
I was like, you know what, I wanna create something for the fitness industry. It's gonna be clothing, and I'm gonna start now. So as soon as I went home, like I went and created the website and the social media pages, because I already had like kind of a little bit of a vision of of what I wanted it to look like.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
The products did not look anything like the vision, at least at the time.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
but no, it was the starting point.
yeah.
Yeah. I from then on, I don't think I've had one rest day since it started, and this is back in 2014 or 20, like, yeah, 20, the end of 2014, like.
Wow.
Yeah,
Beginning
so
of the
Shout
evolution
out.
of hustle.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy, man.
But like in saying that, like
I just finished
like,
high school, bro. We just finished.
Yeah,
high
well,
school. Yeah.
I loved it so much.
100.
That, like, sometimes uh I would work like crazy hours, but like it wouldn't even feel like work. It would feel like I'm
You're onto
doing something
something.
fun. Like,
Yeah, right.
the way I see it is, it's probably like how Kobe felt every day that he trained. Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah, I think that's how every Olympian trains every day,
Yeah.
because like they got to do such an insane amount of work every day, and it's like,
Yeah.
you got to ask yourself, like how do they?
You got to be like obsessed.
Yeah,
I think that's the
exactly,
one thing
yeah.
that I took away from one of our other episodes with RJ.
Mhm.
Like it's like I was like, yeah, psychopath. No, it's obsessed. Like I think she mentioned it. Like you have to be
Yeah.
super, super obsessed.
Yeah.
But it's good because I mean, like you've been through like thick and thin, the ups and the downs. I know it's a roller coaster, man. Like in saying all that, like the inception of Inner Beast happened in bloody Woolies back dock in the seafood section,
Yeah.
sweeping the bloody floor.
Yeah.
That's crazy, you know what I mean? Things just happen.
Bludgeon and
Spinning around.
yeah, spinning around the back
in
dog.
the back dock.
If so the listeners out there, Jono and I, we both worked at Woolies. We didn't work at the same one, but
Yeah.
like we both like had a laugh at like the random shit we'd get up to.
Yeah.
So spinning in the back dock is one of them. Like, and that what that means is like when you go out and, like, I don't know, a customer asks
Yeah,
you to
you
grab
go.
something. You're like, yeah, I'll go get that for you. You go to the back dock, which is where they hold all the stock, and then you just like fuck around and
Just spin around for a bit for like
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Yeah, spin around for a bit.
To
then
check
you
the
go back.
cages, maybe.
Yeah, give the
Then you go
cages a
back.
little shake, and then you go back, and then you say,
sorry,
no, I don't know.
no, maybe tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, that's like a joke. I didn't know he worked at the time, but I didn't know. I thought it was just like when I used to work there with the people I work with, but it's like universal across every
Yeah.
Woolies
Yeah.
nationwide.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's good to hear because I mean,
It's,
obviously that's
sometimes when I'd go spin in the back dock, there'd be other random people spinning in the back dock with me. So it's like what the hell are you doing? Like,
everyone's spinning around.
yeah,
Everyone's
yeah,
just spinning.
yeah.
Oh my god, bro. Yeah, it's fucking
I
hilarious.
used to like hide in the cool room fridges, because I worked in the seafood department. So like
Yeah.
all the stock is
Yeah.
like all the stock's inside
In the fridge.
these big fridges.
Yeah.
So when I'd go spinning in the back dock, I'd just go in the fridge, close the door, and like just
Just lock yourself in there.
Yeah, go spin for 5 minutes and then come back.
That's so good. Oh my god, a lot of the boys that are listening to this, because some of my mates still work at Woolies,
Oh yeah.
so they'd fucking have a good laugh.
Yeah, then no.
Yeah.
So the next time, like, you ask something from a young Woolly staff member, and they come back and say no, just be like, did you even look?
Just in the back. Yeah, man. Okay, no. So yeah, you mentioned how it all started and stuff like that. I'll skip ahead to some of these questions here that make more sense here. Like obviously you've been doing like the ups and downs and stuff like that, and you mentioned one of the lowest moments when you were originally thinking you're gonna sack it all, like nah, this isn't working, gonna hang up the boots or whatever, and then your mum came in, gave you the rundown, and that kind of refueled you, right? I want to ask, what was the toughest hurdle you've overcome in business and entrepreneurship, but aside from that?
Made you think there.
Yeah.
Oh, there's there's so many.
Yeah.
Like there's so many
A
like
handful that come to mind. Then it doesn't like.
yeah. Like I'm trying to find a really good one, because usually it'd just be like the most common ones is like, you start a marketing campaign, right? And it doesn't pan out, like,
Yeah.
and you've sunk all this money in, and and you don't make a good enough return, right?
Yeah.
Those are kind of common.
That's just the nature of the
Yeah,
business.
that's the nature of the business. I can't really think of like one that really sticks out. So I mean, I would say like running uh running a business and kind of starting a marketing
Marketing
campaign,
campaign,
which you've done all of your research in, and all of the data like kind of points to a really good campaign, right?
Yeah.
Like like you're gonna make a good return, and it just doesn't work out. That's kind of when, I think it's a little bit stressful, but in my case, at least within a beast, there's always like, if a campaign doesn't work, there's 4 campaigns lined up, like to test out.
Yeah.
And I'm talking strictly like marketing here.
Yeah.
Like if a marketing campaign doesn't work, I kill it and then I replace it with a new marketing campaign.
Yeah.
I guess the most stressful time was when all 4 of those marketing campaigns didn't really pan out, and so it really kept me on my toes. But for the most part, like these are kind of everyday hurdles which is just a part of the business.
Yeah.
So it's I wouldn't say it's too stressful, but it is a challenge.
Yeah.
It does keep me on my toes.
Yeah, just thinking about it now, bro. Like, because you started at a level playing field. Like everyone, let's say everyone was given the same opportunity. You kind of just went with it, made this out of that, right?
Yeah.
But you had literally no like industry experience. Like you didn't really understand marketing or paid channels. You didn't understand how to set up a website. These things weren't like your prior, like you had zero prior understanding of. So these are the things you had to like pick up a book to learn, watch a video, have to sink your teeth into.
What is a marketing campaign?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what is a
what it
marketing
is.
campaign?
So it's kind of it's when you so on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
You put up an offer,
Mm-hmm.
and basically you just measure like how well your offer performs. So like if you're making a good return on your ad spend, then it's a successful campaign. So like if I was to put in $1 in a marketing campaign, I would expect $3 to come back for it to be like
bare minimum.
for it to be a pretty good campaign. Anything under, at least now there's more of a system, but yeah, I mean, but before there was like any systems in place, it was like if a marketing campaign doesn't work, you're kind of tossing things up in the air and seeing like seeing if something sticks or not. But yeah, like what Jono said, these are kind of skills that I learned on the way.
Okay.
Funny story is that when InterBeast started, there wasn't any initial capital. So how it started was I created a Facebook an Instagram page, and at the time Instagram like was a really powerful platform for organic reach. So organic reach means no money behind like your posts, and so how I would get a lot of people to follow my Instagram page was like I would post a lot of original memes.
Yeah.
And like I would post it to my page, and I would have also multiple Instagram accounts that would I would post like memes to, and it would get a lot of traction. And when I was ready to kind of produce a product, I told people that I put up a post on my Instagram, and I said, if you're interested in any of these products that we're thinking of releasing, you can place a pre-order. The pre-orders, like, they went crazy. Like,
Oh wow.
yeah, well, crazy in the sense that I had no products like at the time,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like, and people were buying,
Wow.
and yeah, those pre-orders were what got me like my first set of
Like,
products,
yeah,
like my product
yeah.
line.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And so yeah, like,
Was this like a year in or something, or?
no, like, things kind of moved like really, really slowly. So I
Right.
think, from what I remember, like, the pages were like I was creating content for the pages, and yeah, it was within a year, but like,
Yeah.
it took a while to like kind of get, you know,
Decent enough traction or anything
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Yeah, crazy.
yeah,
But that's good. That's like that's like a lot of, like, you hit, like, that was like the golden era of organic reach on Instagram.
yeah, yeah.
And like, you rode that,
Yeah.
which was good, man. Like, a
Yeah.
lot of people were just fucking around liking pictures, but you really used that to your advantage. And I don't
Yeah.
know, to your credit, like, a lot of people weren't thinking that way back then, and
Yeah.
people are trying to catch up now. But it's like,
Yeah,
it's too far gone
it's
now.
hard
Yeah,
on Instagram, but I would say, like, if a listener here was gonna replicate that, I would say check out TikTok, because
Oh, yeah.
TikTok has a lot of organic reach.
TikTok's huge now.
Yeah,
Huge.
yeah. If you know how to create content like specific to that platform, so like TikTok is all video. I would say, like, have a look at that. Because that's where you're probably going to get the most organic reach out of all the social platforms right now. So
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, as far as, like, you mentioned, marketing campaign, one of the toughest, but also the more frequent hurdles that you have to kind of overcome and stuff like that. Like, I'm curious, like how long as well, like, into the business, or actually what in like order, like what in like sequential order did you, like, what skills did you learn? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
did you have to learn how to build a website first, then you learned
Yeah.
marketing, then you like what, or was it kind of everything at once? Like,
yeah, it was everything at once.
yeah, I thought so.
So I mean, I guess if you were to put it into sequential order, I started with building the Instagram pages.
Yeah.
The Instagram pages, like, in itself, you kind of have to learn how to produce content, like, for the platform.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean just throwing up, a meme.
Yeah.
It's about, like, looking at the metrics of your posts. Like some posts are gonna get a lot more likes than others,
Yeah.
and so you kind of follow that trail of, like,
Yeah.
these kinds of posts do really well, so make more of those posts.
Yep.
And yeah, so along the way, I guess I learned social media skills.
Yeah.
And then I obviously had to create a website. It's a lot easier now with Shopify, but back in the day there wasn't a Shopify.
Fuck.
So
This guy back in the, when there's no
yeah, yeah, so
100%. Yeah.
like my website is built on a WooCommerce platform, which is
Yeah.
a lot, like, it's a bit trickier because you
It's
do
not
need
as
to
plug and
learn.
play. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like, if you want a really good website, like, you've got to learn HTML, CSS, and PHP. These are programming languages.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, this is all self-taught, but like, with the amount of information that's out there these days, like,
It's not impossible.
it's not. Yeah, it's not really that hard. Like,
Yeah.
like if you, like, for me, I needed to have a website that worked, right? And so that
It
was
was
my
a no-brainer,
motivation
yeah.
to kind of learn and to absorb as much knowledge as I can, like,
Yeah.
as fast as I can.
Yeah.
I think if anyone has, like, I guess, that same goal,
Yeah.
like, they'll learn, like, way quicker than me. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
good on you, bro. So website, and then you learned like marketing,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah. So learning marketing, that was probably the biggest game changer. Um. Uh. Because
Because you had no experience. You didn't even study
no,
it. I think.
no,
Yeah, you didn't even like. You know
no.
what I mean?
But
Like.
so how it started was I took on an agency, a marketing agency, and they ran my ads for me, and they were a well known agency. They did really really well, and that kind of opened my eyes to the power of Facebook ads.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like um as time went on, they switched the person who was managing my account, and uh, my my campaigns just went to shit. Like
Yeah.
I was sinking money. Like I was sinking money in the tens of thousands.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
because they were performing so badly,
Yeah.
and it forced me then to have a look and be like, something's not right. But at the time, I felt like, who am I to question that, because I don't know anything about Facebook ads.
Yeah.
So I mean, I learned Facebook ads, and I learned a lot about Facebook ads just by looking into the data of the campaigns that this agency was running, and looking back now, I can see kind of where their mistakes were.
Yeah.
But yeah, long story short, uh, the necessity of having to fix up,
Their mistakes.
their mistakes kind of taught me really, 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 really quickly about Facebook ads, and I ended up booting them and taking over the ads myself. And that was the biggest, so far, that's been the biggest.
It's the biggest ROI I think in
Yeah,
business's history.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I remember you telling me it was crazy, man, when that all happened. But you run across Facebook, you do AdWords as well, I think.
Mhm.
And you do like banner ads and display retargeting and
Yeah.
all that type of
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, like, you're like, I would say, equipped to do like freelance PPC for small businesses. Would you say?
Yeah. I mean, if I ever,
I don't know if you've thought about it, but that's
Yeah, I mean, if I ever
yeah.
had a passion that wasn't this business, I would say I'd move into ads. I do like it. That's also why I have such a big hand in the Facebook ads. Because
100%.
like it's one of the things that that I think it's one of the biggest levers that you can have in your business, is like having a really good marketing strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, huge, bro.
Yeah,
Huge.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. So now I'm kind of dabbling in YouTube ads.
Yeah.
I have a content creation agency that I'm
Yeah.
speaking to. So they're gonna be doing more of like video shoots. These things to kind of set me up for to take on the YouTube platform.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the goals for this year, is
Yeah.
to really expand outside of Facebook ads. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I've done some small testing now, and it's doing good.
That's good.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah, I think if there's any kind of budding entrepreneurs who are listening, like learning any type of online marketing skill right now is pretty crucial, and you can
Huge.
kind of like fast forward your success by kind of learning how to like make either sales or marketing really 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 efficient.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge. Yeah, man. So like you mentioned, you built the website, the marketing sort of where like the action actually happens, like the reality of the whole business, side of things. That's where it happens. Is there anything else that you're still obviously trying to like pick up and learn? Is everything like we're always trying to improve and stuff like that? But is there anything?
What's
Would you
the
say
next
this?
step?
This is like
for you?
like what sort of like the next step for the business, like for yourself or like the brand?
Really getting into the the women's line.
All right, yeah,
Admittedly, like it's something that's been a bit of a struggle, because
yep,
um, it's it it's a it's very different to advertising to women, as it is to like advertising to to men, especially because like I have data that can um I have data to kind of back um like to increase like the success of the men's line. I don't
right,
have a lot of data behind like the women's lines because I haven't really advertised um a, a lot to them just yet. So I think that's the next step.
yeah,
Um, and also moving into the US markets is a big one.
yeah.
Um, which I'm starting now. Yeah, so
That's sick.
yeah.
That's
So
so
I've
good.
started
Exciting.
advertising to the US, and like the campaigns are doing really well. The what I'm trying to figure out now is like a faster way to get their products out to the customers.
Right,
Yeah, so I'm looking into things like 3PL, which is
3PL,
like a fulfillment.
third party
Yeah,
fulfillment. Yeah,
yeah. So that's gonna be like another big hurdle, but it's it's just something that
it's just part of
it's just
the
part
whole
of it. Like,
journey.
yeah,
Because like day one, chapter one's problems are different to
yeah,
when you're in your chapter 50. So at the time
Yeah.
you're figuring out what the fuck is JavaScript and blah
Yeah.
blah this and that,
yeah,
and now you're figuring out how to scale and go international, which is
Yeah.
huge, man.
yeah.
Which is huge. Like going into that, man, I just wanted to ask like sort of like the top 3 lessons like you've learned in entrepreneur and business and yeah.
Finding like being able to see what your most efficient processes are.
Yeah.
So like there's this really good book. It's called the 80-20 Principle, by
Yeah.
Richard
Mhm.
Koch or Richard Koch. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, but basically the 80-20 principle
Yeah.
uh, talks about how there are small things in in like in your business and in life as well that can produce like really 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 big results for you. So when I relate it back to Inner Beast clothing,
Yeah.
there is a small amount of products that produce most of the revenue.
Yep.
And they're like, I think the key lesson is to kind of find what are these small things inside of my business that are kind of producing really 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 good results.
Yep.
So that's, I guess, takeaway one.
Yeah. 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 Huge.
Key takeaway two is like consistency. Like every single day that you know every day that you spend like not working towards like your end goal is a day wasted. And it's not that, and every day that you kind of waste, you don't stay in place, like you're actually moving back.
Yeah,
Because
right.
everyone else in the world like around you is moving forward. Like if you're not working towards your dream, like, or towards a certain goal, it's gonna be it's gonna be so much harder for you to like to build that momentum back up when when you've lost it. So
Yeah.
being consistent with like your day-to-day duty, and I guess measuring your results could be takeaway 3, because they kind of go hand in hand. So
Yeah.
you be consistent, you track your results, and you make sure that you're always moving forward.
Yep.
Those are probably 2 of the biggest takeaways, because I can say that like doing those 2 things were I guess the catalyst of what produced like growth in the business.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Because like you can be consistent, but like if the actions that you're doing aren't producing any results, then you're then you're just
Can
wasting.
you break that down? Like, I have an idea of like what the 80-20 principle is, but it's like for people that really don't understand, it's taking 80% of your time and focusing it on the 20% that actually gives the
It's
results.
The other way.
Is it the other way? I butchered that. Fuck.
No, that's cool. So like,
What was it again? Yeah.
so it's more, it's more like in business or
Yeah.
in life.
Yeah.
Like there are 20% of your actions which can produce about 80% of the
Oh
results.
yeah.
But like
Yeah.
these numbers aren't like it's not always going to be exactly 20% of
Yeah,
your
of course,
actions.
of course.
No, of
It
course.
could be like 95-5 or like 60-40. But the takeaway is that there are small things which can which produce like most of your results.
Yeah.
So in the beast, for example, the big like the 20% is probably Facebook ads. So 20% of the actions that I take, which is managing Facebook ads, produces 80% of the results. Like
Yeah.
produces 80 or even 90% of all the revenue. So now I want to take another 80-20 action, which is learning YouTube ads, right? Because now I want to produce more 80% results.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like if you're looking to scale your business, find the small things which are producing all of your results, and do more of them. Like that's essentially what the 80-20 principle is about.
Right.
Find those small things that produce big results and just keep
And
doing
just
more
keep
of those.
going. And
Yeah,
how
and
far?
then palm off the rest.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the problems that I have is I take on way too much and like a lot of them aren't like a lot of the actions that I take aren't don't produce like results.
Yeah. Right.
You know, like so yeah. I mean, it's obviously things that I still need to learn because I've got so much I need to learn. So
Yeah. How far into, I guess, the whole journey did you figure out that principle is like something that you really took on? Like, you know what I mean? Like.
it wasn't very long ago.
Okay. Oh wow.
I read that book, I think 2 years ago.
Right.
But even before that, like, even though I was unaware, I was already doing 80-20
Right.
actions because like, I would be trying to find out, okay, what's working, what isn't. That was one of my daily reflections is like what worked today, what didn't work today,
Yeah.
and kind of just do more of whatever was working.
Exactly.
I just didn't know that it was called
80-20.
80-20.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So consistency and calculate your results. Those are probably key to scaling your business.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
Talking about reading, I have a question.
Go for it.
Like, do you still read now?
Yeah.
And do you read like how many books in? Like, do you have like a goal as to?
Well, now, I'm like I go through books through Audible,
Okay.
and I have like I've got a lot of books. They're all about like business and personal development. But the 80-20 principle is one of the books that I just re-listen to because each time you listen to it, you kind of pick up another like something that you missed.
Yeah. For sure.
So, are you more of a listener
Yes.
than a reader?
Yeah.
So, did you start reading, or did you start with audio already? Like,
yeah. So I
did you get to
started.
it?
I started reading, and the books that I was reading was more like Think and Grow Rich, by Napoleon Hill. It's very hard for me to stay focused when I'm reading.
Do you read the
Anybody
whole
got
thing,
time for
like
that,
from
bro?
front to back?
Not in one sitting. I've read the whole thing in chunks, and it took so long because like my attention is just not there. Like
I actually want to thank you because that's how he got into like quote unquote listening to audiobooks is because of you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
'cause
awesome.
he
Yeah.
worked with you, and then like he'd be like, yeah, listen to this and this, and I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I try to get him to read, but he doesn't want to read.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when we
So-
were in the office and we're pumping out the audios over
Yeah,
the
yeah,
thing,
yeah.
or like the
yeah.
guy that does the study notes or anything like that, or we're just ideating.
Yeah.
Like we're literally working and we're just like throwing back and forth ideas. I think
Yeah.
that's what I missed the most, man, because it was good. Like it was really really good. And any time we got the chance to just throw ideas or just like listen, because like I didn't. I think that was like I always use the term hyperbolic time chamber. Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Like this is my situation at work, right? Like I'm learning so much, and I feel like I'm in like the hyperbolic time chamber because they're making me like I'm super out of my comfort zone. But it's cool.
Yeah.
But you know that you're growing because like this and that, whatever, and you're doing well and you're getting feedback. It's like not trial and error, but like you're constantly getting feedback and everyone's saying that you're improving and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that's how I felt when I was working with you, when I'm still working with you, like just normally, like now, ever since that happened, like I just feel like I'm in like this chamber where I'm training, and like it's like 10 years, like 5 days is like 10 years, whatever, you know what I mean? You understand that principle, right?
Yeah.
It's not really a principle, but
Yeah.
it's just one of those things.
Actually, there's a book called Flow by Mihai Csikszentmihalyi.
Yeah.
And what you're describing is basically like this state called flow.
Are you
and
serious?
it's like when, you're on a task and you don't even realize that 12 hours has gone past because you're vibing
Wow.
really good. Like you're
That's crazy.
You're working on something that you're really interested in, and you're learning really, really, really quickly. And it's like you're in some sort of like, hyperbolic time chamber, man.
That's crazy. I didn't know there was a
Yep.
thing.
Read it. Flow
Yeah.
by Mihai Csikszentmihalyi.
Yeah. I'm gonna like, because the thing is at work, right? I noticed, like, especially since I got like promoted or whatever, I've noticed like the responsibilities and the tasks and stuff like that. I'm there working, and then I'm like, what the fuck? It's like 4:15 now. I've got 45 minutes or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and I'm like, this day just escaped. Like I'm finding exactly that's exactly how I'm feeling now, like with
Yeah.
everything. But like since then, I've been reading books and like, well, not reading, right? Listening is more like it. Listening.
Someone's
and,
reading for
and
you.
like
so.
you, I'm re-listening to it over a span of maybe a week or two. Just like to your point, like listening and seeing if I pick up on anything that I missed or whatever.
Yeah.
So you get the most out of the actual book, more so than just reading it and then just moving on.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's pretty cool. But I'm curious to know, and I think the answer to this question, but a lot of the people that don't know, you started this 5 years ago, whatever. How long into the business did it become a full-time thing where you had to start like, oh, this is me, I have to shift into doing this full-time, you feel me? Like,
Yeah.
because you were bouncing other shit, but when did it actually become like a full-time gig for you?
Yeah. So it was about 3 years in. I dropped everything, and I was like, this is like, I'm gonna like take this on full time.
Yeah, right.
But if you rewind it back to like I think after 1.5 years of running the business, I gave it a shot, like in working full time. So I dropped out of uni actually.
Yeah, right.
I was in Macquarie Uni, and
You were studying.
What were you studying?
e-business.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So I dropped that, and because I wanted to do In a Beast full time. The problem was like I wasn't skilled enough at the time to kind of take on that role efficiently.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Because like I still needed to learn marketing skills. I still needed to learn I still needed to make all the processes efficient, which you learn over time. But at that time, I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
So yeah, after maybe
That was like the first stint, right? Yeah.
yeah, after maybe I think 7 or 8 months, I picked up another job, and it wasn't until 3 years in that I was confident enough to take this on full time again, just with like like with all the skills that I'd learned, um, I was like, you know what, like I've just got to do this because like when I was working, so I was working for a supplement company.
Yeah.
When I was working there, it just felt wrong. Like I
Mhm.
felt like I need to be doing like inner beast clothing because that's my passion. And like
Yeah.
when I'd be going into work, like I'd feel like I'd always feel like something was off.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean when I when I dropped like everything for the second time to take it full time, things moved really really fucking quickly.
Yeah, right.
Because now I was equipped with the proper knowledge. I was equipped with more experience as well, and the experiences of the mistakes from the past. So I was ready, and man, like yeah,
It
But
was
that's
like
still
a-
like a leap of faith still.
yes, yeah,
Like
100%.
you had to like, okay, I have to do it, but I'm not sure yet. Like
Yeah,
it was a risk.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was a risk, especially because I did a full-time stint before, and it
Yeah.
didn't pan out.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like in the back of my head there was like this fear that like I'm gonna leave a stable job to work on my dream. But
crazy.
like when you have something that you were put on this earth to do, like it's kind of like
Just
I
do it.
don't care if I die, like I don't care if I
Yeah.
die, as long as like I'm doing the thing that I was put on this earth to do. Like then that's all that matters.
How did you come to that like conclusion that that's what you're put on earth to do?
So
Is it like an
I've-
epiphany? Or?
yeah, I mean, the sweeping and the woolies was my epiphany.
Yeah.
But I've always running a business was always something that I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you kind of break it down, it was more about I've always wanted to create things for people
Right.
that
Right.
people can use and appreciate. That's something that I've always wanted to do. Like when I was a kid, yeah, I was always dreaming about like creating some I don't know, some stupid invention that could change the world. And hey, maybe I could have, but no, this is where my path has led me so far,
Yeah.
and I think it blends well with the type of person that I am. I hope that inner beast clothing is something that people can feel motivated when they're wearing, because that's the goal, really. Like
Yeah, for sure.
having cool designs on the shirt is just a bonus, but at its core, I want people to feel, to feel like they can accomplish anything, like.
For sure.
And that's how I centered the brand.
Bro, it's funny. She probably knows what I'm about to jump into, right? I see people wearing your gear.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm walking around on the
around.
street and I see there was one guy. I don't know if I told you this, right? There was this one
Oh
guy I
my
bumped
gosh.
into. It was at Mountie, the Anytime Fit at Mountie,
Yeah.
and it was at
In the
night
car park.
in the car park, and I was just there, and I'm like, bro, he's wearing like the old, like it was like
Oh.
before my time.
Yeah,
type. It was like the King tee with the old. It had Inner Beast. It wasn't like Inner Beast clothes,
yeah,
like
yeah,
Inner
yeah,
Beast, right?
yeah.
With the
The
with
really old school.
the old back in the day,
Yeah.
the old the first gen model,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And then I went up to him like, oh hey bro, like that's sick you're wearing it. He's like, yeah, I don't like wearing Nike and all that, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. And when I saw it, like I had to cop, and he's actually like from there, like he's local.
Oh,
And I'm like, yeah, bro, I work with them. He's like, oh no way, this and that, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. I was gonna snap a picture with him, but it was getting a bit too creepy, so I didn't. But yeah, no,
You
I
would've.
didn't want to. Like, I already held him up for like 10-15. He was supposed to go into the gym and like work out or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, bro, more recently, I saw a guy. I'm just walking around in Penrith, like into a sub
Yeah.
store, and he was wearing the new Inner Beast clothes, like the full. I think it was the signature tee.
Oh,
Inner
yeah,
Beast
yeah.
clothes,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
fat on
yeah,
there.
yeah.
I was like, oh, and I was about to. I
He was
like,
on the phone,
"Ah."
otherwise he would have went up to the
Yeah,
guy
I was
as
on the
well.
phone. Yeah, I was on a phone call, but then I was like, babe, look. I was like, babe. I was fucked up. Cause I'm like, bro, I'm seeing it's everywhere, bro. It's fucking everywhere, bro. I'm
Yeah.
seeing it. It's a wave, bro. Everyone's on it.
I'm glad to hear it. There was
I don't know if you noticed it, but yeah.
I've
definitely.
seen people wear it, but there was one story that kind of like which was like, oh wow, that's awesome. That's an awesome moment.
Yeah.
Was my friend was in, I don't know if it was Wollongong, but somewhere really down south, and
Right.
and he was like, I saw a bunch of people that were wearing Inner Beast clothing.
That's
I'm like,
Yeah.
are you serious?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's
yeah.
freaking awesome. Like,
Yeah.
I wish he took a photo because it was a group of people, and I don't know, perhaps they were doing like some group training or something, but no, it's it's always like this weird fuzzy feeling like when I hear about, because
It's
people
so
send me
good.
texts,
Yeah.
and they're like,
Yeah.
they've snapped this photo of this random dude like
Yeah.
yeah, with
In the
wearing
shops.
Inter clothing. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
Bro, it's
yeah.
such a good
So
feeling.
good.
Like I'm not even new, and I'm full excited. Like imagine how you feel. Like it's such a. I see it, and I'm like, bro, like that's
yeah.
what we
Yeah.
we do what we do, right?
Yeah.
Like that's why you do what you do.
Yeah,
Like it's
because
there.
we're like, I think it's because we're both like, we're both trying to reach that goal for Indie Beast clothing
Yeah,
as a brand, like
for
to
sure.
just like, spread out to people and kind of help people. So I think, like, I think it's awesome that you feel, the same giddy feeling
Yeah.
that I feel.
Full excited. at that. So, I mean,
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's mad. It's so good. But yeah, I wanted to share that because it literally just popped back in my head. But when I do see it, bro, I'm like, fuck, it's this guy, bro. I don't even know you, but you bought it, and
Yeah.
I'm thinking like maybe I saw your name on the spreadsheet. Maybe
Yeah.
I packed your order.
Yeah.
Like, oh my
God.
God.
Yeah.
Maybe I know where you live. I don't know. You feel, yeah. Anyway. It's just
You
so
know
funny
where
to-
they live.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, we'll just pop by and just shake their hand and have lunch, and then
What
we'll
was
go
your name,
back
bro?
home.
Oh yeah, I think I saw you on the order fulfillment.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, fucking yeah, maybe. But it's a good feeling nonetheless, bro. It's good seeing it. Like I don't know, I've just been noticing a lot more, like more recently.
Yeah.
And it's surprising, like a lot of people in the area, and then there's people like you said from far down south wearing it. And
Eventually, it's gonna go to the US market. and
Yeah.
all
That would be cool.
Yeah.
yeah, and I remember wearing it, and everyone's like, "Yeah, bro, hectic design. Where'd you get it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I work for these guys." And then I like text them the bloody the link, the website link,
Yeah.
or whatever. So yeah, it happens at the gym sometimes, and it's one of those things where it's so good, such a good feeling.
Yeah.
But as far as like the next question, man, like obviously you wear all the hats in the business. Like I remember you were telling me, or when Facebook reached out to you, they're like, "Oh, who handles this and that?" And then you're like, you were laughing because you're like, "Yeah, it's all me."
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
you telling me that. I mean, like, what was like the hardest hat to learn? I guess like, of all the hats, like from like all things business, like from the accounts to the tax returns and like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what was like the hardest thing for you to pick up, or like besides marketing? I feel like marketing is pretty hard, but like, yeah.
Yeah. That's a tough one. Like, I think the hardest hat is like the management hat, because like
Right.
managing my own time is something that I really, really, really struggle with.
Right.
Because like the hours that I put day to day like are unhealthy. Like, and I know this, like things should be managed a lot more better, and things can be managed a lot more better. But it's kind of like I've been doing this for over 5 years now, and I haven't like had a break. Like, I'm just so used to like putting in insane hours and like just working so much that it's come to a point where like it's hard for me to see that it's not efficient.
Right.
So I think the management hat is probably the hardest hat, and the hardest hat that I'm facing today. That's one of the things that I'm really working on. It's splitting up my time more efficiently.
Yeah.
Hiring more people to kind of make things run a lot more smoothly.
Yeah.
And also being able to kind of relinquish that control.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that falls under the management hat as well.
Yeah.
because one of the problems that I have is like controlling things.
Why
Like,
is that?
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
Because I have a vision of what the brand should look like, and so if something's like a little bit off,
Mm-hmm.
it just makes you like want to be like, all right, I'll fix it, I'll take over it from now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and that's a big problem because like for me, and this is my weakness, I need to be able to just trust that the person who's who's you know helping me out
Yeah.
actually has it under control themselves.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
That was
So
actually
like,
a question I had.
yeah.
Are you
Well-
looking to build a team?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm training an old workmate right now as well to kind of to help me with the printing.
Yeah.
Because things are starting to scale again, and yeah, again I'm not managing my time great, so I've been like a bit overwhelmed. So yeah, I'm looking to expand more in like to train people to take on like the day-to-day activities,
Yeah.
like the printing and the packing. Yeah, so that's the next step, because I already have a team of designers. I have 2 designers, and like even then I still am a bit controlling, because like I think an important aspect of Innobee's clothing is like the design. So like
Yeah.
I'm very meticulous when it comes to how a design ends up looking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Is that like an online thing, or like do you like face to face? the
yes,
designer, like-
no. So that's they're both outsourced.
Okay.
Yeah. So one is from Indonesia and the other's from the Philippines.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
really skilled designers. Like I give them like this shocking draft of like of something that I want to kind of
Yeah.
look at, because I'm not good at art. I'm not a good like sketcher, but I try to draw like something
Something,
cool.
and they make it.
Yeah, and they
is
turn
what
it
it
into
is.
something absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so
It's
cool.
it blows my mind like how good some people can be like at
Yeah.
with
For
their
sure.
skill.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. No,
it's
definitely.
insane. Like, and like it's also like not just in design, but like in marketing, how some people like are just really good like at what they do, and
Yeah.
I don't know, it blows my mind. Like,
Yeah.
to see like how someone can master like a skill and can show like how much how many levels above you that they are, because like
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
part of like a a marketing group on Facebook, and the techniques that they come up with are like so advanced for me that like it just shows me how much like I've only scratched the surface of like of online ads in general.
Yeah, yeah,
Not just
yeah.
Facebook, but even in YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It also kind of it also kind of goes to show like how if you walk into like an arena and you don't have any experience, like you're kind of doomed to fail. So what I mean by that is, before this ad agency, the Facebook ad agency that I hired, I tried Facebook ads, and like it bombed so bad, and I thought that Facebook ads just don't work. Like that was my
Yeah.
train of thought. It wasn't until I took someone who was so advanced in Facebook ads who showed me kind of like a little bit of the power of that's behind it,
Yeah.
if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That really kind of blew my mind and made me realize, man, I don't know shit. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
No.
That's actually really good.
Yeah.
I wanted to just add, like, I think I see a lot of, like, business owners, because I've been to a lot of seminars, and like these people that own like massive businesses and stuff, they talk to a lot of small business owners, and one of the things that come up is like they have a lot of like control in the business, but they're kind of like, I want to break, but like I don't want to like give all that to someone, because I don't yet know if I can trust that person. Like, and it's just a really interesting point that you bring up, because what the guy said, his name's like Aaron Sansoni. He's like, look, you have to like just accept that you won't get someone just exactly like you. You can wish all you want, because like there's people who be like, oh, I wish I could just double myself. And it's like, well, no, like in reality, you can't double yourself. And as your business grows, a lot of the businesses that were there was this one lady, right? And she's like, oh, I've got like this one person that can manage the restaurant, but you know, I haven't, like, I'm still managing, I'm still doing everything. And then the guy's like, is she capable? I think so. And she's like, well, just train her up. Like, she seems capable. Just give her the role. Call her now and give her the role. Like, give her the management role. And it's that leap of faith, like, oh, fuck, like I have to, you know. I think it's that fear, because even like with like BlessedPod, and like I'm trying to figure out like through Fiverr on the subtitles. And I can't seem to find someone just yet. But it's like, well, if I was to put in my time, because I'm stretching all my time out to do it, my boss made a very good point. It's like the amount of time, or like if you put a money value to your time, like say it's like maybe like $200, $300, $400, $500 an hour. It's like, is what you're trying to put in, like what, like say, I don't know, what's a task that like a bit like meticulous, but you can actually give that to someone else.
The printing and packing.
Okay,
sure.
so that's one, right? It's like, okay, is my time that worth it to do that, or can I give that to someone else?
Yeah.
Can I find someone and give that to someone else? And I think that goes to, my boss makes a good point, and he's like, it's leadership. Like learning leadership is what you said, management, right? It's good to have that management, but it's like there's a difference with management and then leadership. Because you want, like, the reason why Jono is so drawn to you is because like your leadership, like you trust him that he can do the job, and you see the potential, and like you're like, hey, I trust that you can do it, right?
AKA, what she's saying is I'm not a flop. Yeah.
There's a lot of people out
There's
there.
a lot of flops.
Yeah, of course. But
Yeah.
I think that comes down to like the experience as a business.
Yeah.
Because you hear a lot of like bad stories of like, you know, they hired this person and then that was a flop, you know.
I think that, you know, from the outside looking in for you, bro, like you already know who it is that you'd want to bring on and not, and I feel like you're ready to move into that
more
role.
Jonos.
Yeah.
I was saying to Kay, like, I see a lot of like me and Jono, like, just because like when we're talking like about goals and stuff, like we're very like we know we can do the task, like, you know, perhaps like we don't have the skills just yet, but it's like we know, like deep in our heart, we can fucking
do this,
like,
you
know, it's I've found it's kind of hard to find people who are like that, because
of
like,
course.
because like, you know, self-doubt is a big thing, right? You know, I have self-doubt as well,
same, bro.
but like to be able to be like, you know, I have these doubts, but I know that I can still, you know, do anything. It's hard to find that, you know, in people. So more
Yeah.
But
Jonos, more Jonos.
you
yeah.
found that in the one that you're training now, right? Your old,
Yeah, he's a hard worker.
Yeah.
We used to work together in a supplement company. So I know he's
Oh,
driven and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
But I don't know anything kind of above like above, I
That.
guess, that surface level of like, you're a hard worker.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
because Jono is a
Mhm.
hard worker, but Jono also has like this fire inside him to like to produce great things. I'm 100% certain that you're gonna produce like amazing things as well.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, and like you obviously have good people around you. Jono has told me about how you've you, Ali, have like read a lot of books and were inspiring Jono as
Yeah.
well to read a lot of books.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that point of like trying to find people like yourself.
Yeah, bro.
I was
it-
lucky
yeah.
with Jono.
But I like to your point. It's definitely hard. Even if I was in your position, I'd be like, who do I know? Like, I don't know. And when my work is, because my work's expanding and we need to hire like more and more people, there's only a few people that I could safely and wholeheartedly recommend that I know would be able to get the job done, right?
Yeah.
So I'm and like that's just a handful. Like, out of all the people that I've met, that I even continue to meet, like, and I try and get to that level of a relationship where, like, are this person capable? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's not that many, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Even
Yeah.
no matter how many seminars you go to, how many people you meet, it's really, really hard. So when you do or know someone that is capable, or that you can entrust, like, you really want to ensure that you keep him around.
But at the time
Like,
that
it's
you
so
hired
huge.
Jono, were you looking for someone?
Yeah, were you? I don't know. think I
No,
came at the right
because
time or
this is
something
like it was something that. So it kind of goes again back to me, I guess, trying to control everything. Even
You're not
like,
alone in that, by the way.
A lot of
Yeah,
people have that
I'm
problem.
like that
though.
as well. Like,
I would too.
Yeah.
Like, I
and
totally get it.
Yeah, it's a big problem, especially like because we're all aware, right? We're
Yeah.
all aware we suffer from like this. It's a weakness. I'm aware that I've control problems because like the control for me is I think that I can do it all.
Yeah.
And the reality is that I can't. Like, there's
Yeah.
probably one skill that I'm really, really good at, and the rest, like, other people are really, really good at.
Yeah.
And it's like being able to trust that, being able to trust someone is a difficult thing for me.
Yeah.
I think it's a hard thing overall.
Yeah.
It's a growing
It's
pain, bro.
obviously, like, the person has to prove themselves.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
would be like that trial period that's why
Yeah.
people have probations and stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
Workplaces have probations.
And
So
this-
when Jono came along, he was recommended by my sister.
Yeah.
And because I was telling my sister about how like, I'm gonna be so screwed for Boxing Day because like, like there's all these sales, and at the time like I was like fucking in Bali.
yeah.
And I was coming home to like this backlog of sales, and then immediately after, those Boxing Day sales, and like
Fuck.
it's an insane it's an insane period,
Yeah.
and like the control freak within me was just like, oh, I'll get through it, like. But the reality was, if I didn't have like Jono helping me, I wouldn't have gone like through it.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So, yeah. I mean, you remember when
I remember that time
it
you
was
came
crazy.
back.
Yeah, we were
and-
just
and-
it was like what was it, 8 hour days, and it was just
Yeah.
pressing and pressing.
pressing. Yeah.
And,
It was.
and that
it was
wasn't even
insane.
the days worth. Like,
Like
there
the
was so
days.
many. Yeah, there was so.
I remember
so
the
many
days
orders.
is pressing, and then night is packing. Like, bro,
Yeah.
it was a whole full on operation,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
But obviously you want to make the most of it. Like,
Yeah.
it's a fucking hot
Yeah,
time
of
of the
course.
year.
yeah.
But yeah, I remember that time because I had recently left my job and I was looking for something just part time, and it was a perfect time when the opportunity was there. So I was like, cool, he does it. I'm like, this is a cool brand, blah, blah, blah. And when I learned more a bit about it and, you know, how it started and everything, I'm just like, bro, this is like the perfect thing for me to get into. And it kind of led me into where I am now, because like I'm working in digital marketing at the moment. Like I build strategies for businesses and stuff like that across, you know, multiple channels. But it, like, to your point, like it's so important. Like this is why I'm, you know, like your point, like you said earlier, if there's one thing that you can learn is try and learn something like an online marketing or something online. You mentioned something, learn something online. And that's what I'm sort of doing now, because you're kind of almost kind of future proofing yourself, essentially. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. But I see like heaps of opportunity for specifically your business. Like a lot of businesses that I speak to, they're going there's a lot of different routes, right? So a lot of businesses, when they first started, went the wholesaling route. So they killed it wholesaling. Now they want to focus on organic, or now they want to focus on paid. You went paid, now you want to focus on obviously international expansion, maybe wholesaling. I don't know, whatever you thought. But there's a lot of different ways. A lot of businesses are trying to like, how can I, increase sales? How can I improve revenue and blah 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 blah. But I mean, to your point, I think the next steps, correct me if I'm wrong, would be obviously to like build a team, because bro, I think that would be the next part of scaling, is like you definitely need a team, bro. I feel like you've kind of maxed out your ability to do everything yourself now, bro. Like it's just a lot, bro. It's definitely a lot. Like it's definitely a lot. But like,
what are you looking for in like a team member? Like say 3 qualities.
3 qualities. Well, hardworking for sure, but for sure. Also someone that these aren't qualities that needs to be in everyone, but I guess ideally,
of course.
Ideally, like someone that was positive, because like things get really really hard. Like it's like for me, it's very important to kind of stay positive.
Really?
Yeah. Oh,
you say it's difficult to?
Oh no, it's hard. Like it's important. I should say it's very important to stay positive.
Yeah.
In general, like I'm very positive. I try to find like the silver lining in everything. But
that's good.
Yeah, I mean, like when things get hard, like it does get hard not to see like, you know, the positive side of things. Hardworking, positive, and someone that can kind of help. Someone that can think outside of the box for solutions, because like you know, I know I don't have all the answers, but I have hardly any of the answers. I kind of I've gotten so many like solutions from Jono, because he can think outside of the box for any problems. Like to find someone that can do those 3 things, and that's a superstar.
That's an all in one.
That will be your team names. Superstar.
No, I think that's very important.
I was gonna add to that, because like one of the things that I think helped me and John click was like a fucked up sense of humor. Like we have a Kiwi fucked up sense of humor, and it
I wonder if this podcast is PG or.
I was gonna say, because like I think what made it like so enjoyable working with you was just because like not only were we like really really serious, but like we'd say one thing and then we're laughing for the next like half an hour. Like it's just one of those things. It was good though. It was like definitely good, bro. Like I thoroughly enjoyed it, and like the whole operation, like because I've been there since you kind of scaled out of having it in your home, and then you had to find an office, and then we helped you obviously redecorate and do all that stuff and set up shop there. That was fun. That was and just seeing like sort of where it's been able to get to since the time, obviously since I've been there, like it's just incredible, like the transformation. But yeah, man, it's crazy. I know the next steps would be like team and like expanding and blah blah blah.
I have no doubt
it's
you'll
crazy.
find.
Oh, bro, like there's heaps of people. I'm still here. Like I'm not going anywhere. I'm still here. So
you'll find people for sure.
The
reason why we do BlessedPod is because like networking, finding people like-minded.
People.
There are people out there. Like
there's definitely people.
You'd be surprised. Like
it's so good. It's so good.
So to anyone listening, like, you know, I do say a lot about like I'm a control freak and stuff, but it's more like control in like I'm trying to relinquish control. Like I have trouble relinquishing control. Like
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
telling like Jono, do it this way or
Yeah, he
you're
doesn't have.
fired.
He doesn't.
It's not like that.
Yeah,
Like,
he doesn't have his
nah.
hand around my neck or
Yeah,
anything. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I do want to find people. Like you don't even need to fit the mold. It's more like we're all gonna learn together.
Yeah,
Because I too need to learn as well.
yeah.
So yeah.
I think someone that like looks at that vision's like motivated, because I think the thing about our generation is, I don't know if you've considered in our generation, I don't know, but the younger generation is they're not really driven by money now. It's more like the vision that the company has that they want to work for. They want to work for that that vision, that no matter what, I don't know what vision they're looking at,
It's
but it's
such
that vision that like drives them to go to work, and you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We're not living in those days anymore where like I have to be here, otherwise I'm fucked. It's more like we have options now, and that's at like working where like the places that I've been fortunate. A lot of the places that I've worked have always had good environments, and I've just gravitated towards workplaces that have awesome environments, and like no
Yeah.
doubt In the Beast would have that culture, and like I still envision like the shit that him and I would talk about, like where he wants to take the brand, and like where he wants to be and stuff like that. It's definitely possible.
can
and
you
like
enlighten us on that?
yeah, okay.
Yeah. So
Like moving past the expanding women's and moving
Yeah.
internationally, like
Like,
where
what's
do you
the
see
ultimate vision?
like ideally?
okay. So the bigger picture, I mean the overarching goal
Yeah.
is for Inner Beast to become a household name, like in the fitness industry.
Yeah.
Um,
Fucking nice.
and like what I envision is that in gyms they would have like they would be selling the apparel. It would be well known. There would be posters, and the brand itself would be like the brand image would be centered around like just motivating people. Like it's not so much about like we want to squeeze all your dollars out of you. No, it's not about that. It's about like lighting a fire within like everyday people
Yeah.
to kind of pursue something bigger. If I could like have a brand that's that powerful, like I would say mission complete. Like
Don't worry. When we'll replay this
Yeah.
when it happens.
Yeah, this will be
Yeah.
something that I listen to, and then it's like, fuck, bro. Like, remember that time, like March, whatever, 2020. Like, bro, it happened. Like, this is the thing. This is more about like documenting and like looking back, because this is one of the things that also helps keep you accountable as well.
Yeah.
More so than us. Like, I'm talking about shit that I want to accomplish here too much. Like Ali, like we're all trying to keep and stay accountable and like keep like everything on focus. But like to your point, man, like I cheekily did at work some competitor analysis for your business and shit like that. Like I'm looking into like who's, and bro, I'll be honest, like there's no one doing what you're doing, and that's where I see a lot of opportunity. Like no one, like there's obviously those brands and stuff, but they're more so centered around lifestyle and shit like that. It's not so much motivational, you know what I mean? And that's where I see, I guess, you taking like the whole other, like it's a really good niche.
That's where I
you know that, right?
Yeah,
You
that's where I
definitely
do
know
want to
that.
take it. Like like the people who let's say we look into the future, the people who would be representing the brand, like they're not gonna be like A-list celebrity. They're gonna be everyday people who have gone from like they set a goal and they've reached it. Like this is their before and this is them after.
For sure.
And like a big part of that was their own self motivation to kind of push themselves to reach that goal. And that's always been like
the mission statement.
The mission, yeah. Because I mean, if it's not a motivational brand if it's like, you're just pandering to everyone.
Yeah. 100.
Like the motivational brand means everyday people, go like fighting for their goals.
Yeah.
Love that.
So good, man. Like there's stuff I know already, but it's good to, I guess, get a top up. It's like really important. I don't know. Is it because look, maybe it's me. It's easy for me to see someone else's vision. Like any chance I get to be a part of like a journey or something like that.
That's why I
And
love
and
having guests on.
yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just
Oh
so
man, it's so like fulfilling almost.
we're
It's
like rooting for everyone.
yeah, yeah. It's so good, man. Like
Yeah.
like there's a lot of people that come on, and it's like fuck, like now we're a part of their journey, and it's just such a good feeling, bro. And I've like, because I've been a part of it since for a while now. Bro, it's crazy. Like I see good things. Like I see good things, bro. I'm sure. As far as I think you answered this question, but this is probably like one of the last ones. Okay. What advice would you give any person, like anyone starting a business?
I'd say like persistence. And it's a very cookie cutter response, but I think it's the most important aspect of reaching any type of goal. Like it doesn't need to be business really, but yeah, if we're gonna talk business, I think persistence is.
Because I'm sure there was days where you're like fucking Siebes,
Exactly.
and you had to, right?
Exactly.
Like that's where you need that.
Like yeah, exactly. So on your worst days, like you still need to show up and show up with your best energy. Show up with as much creativity, as much positivity as you can on your worst days and also on your best days. So yeah. Persistence for sure. I mean, I don't think anything can. I don't think there's been any like successful business that hasn't gone through like
of course,
extreme shit.
yeah,
right?
of course,
Yeah.
100%. Like
I think it was the Zara founder. He went bankrupt and
I remember.
and then he rebuilt the brand by himself. So yeah, I mean, I think persistence, you'll find that in any business.
Like you got to be obsessed. Like it's so true, man. It's good hearing it from you as well. I remember I skipped the question here. It's whether or not something you want to talk about or not. But how's your relationship whilst building the business?
Ooh,
Relationships with
it's an interesting one.
Partner.
A partner.
yeah. My partner has always been like super supportive.
Yeah.
So when you find someone that can like stick with you through the really hard times, like because your partner's the one that's gonna that's gonna see the worst in you.
Right.
And so like I've been blessed, I guess, to have someone that has seen that demon side of me and chose to stick around. I mean, it's been very testing.
No doubt.
Just because of like how stressful running a business can be. I mean, there's been hard times, of course, but through it all, like my partner's stuck around and
shout out.
Shout out.
Yeah, because I remember when we'd talk and we'd always talk about I remember at the time we're in the office, talking and shit like that. I'd hear similarities, between Ali and stuff like that. Just between you and I, like we'd always, when we'd talk and like there's times where I don't know, guys would just talk, right? And I'd hear like Ali or like I'd hear something that reminds me of Ali, and then we just talk. And I'm not like calling anyone out here, but like, it was one of those times where, because like at the time, like I didn't know, because I was telling you, it was like really, it was still kind of, I wouldn't say it was early in the relationship, but I'm just like at the part of the relationship where I was in the phase where I wasn't working.
It was last year.
I really wasn't working. It was last year. I really wasn't working, and then she was like, would you say on my back? She was kind of supporting me or whatever it is. But like to your point, it's really really important to have someone there. Like mind you, like when we first gone out, I would say had my shit together, and maybe she got used to that. And then when I didn't have my shit together, it was like it was testing her, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you were
I
going through
remember you
the
talking about.
when it was going through when yous were probably going through ups and downs, it was really testing you. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's not good, but are you gonna leave me when it's not good?
Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah,
right? So these
sure,
are the
yeah.
things, like, especially from the point where you started and the point where you are now. Like, I mean, it's good. You guys are a pretty good team. Like,
Yeah.
I know, like, you and I share similarities where we're a bit childish. You know what I mean? But I think that's every guy for some
Yeah.
reason. Like, a lot of the conversations I have with guys out of there where there's like that inner child or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
There's no limits to us, you know.
No, there's no limit.
We'll take
you
a
know,
joke
you
and
know.
then we'll beat it till it's dead, and we'll still be cracking up. Like, and it's like no one else is laughing, and we're just like
yeah,
dead.
I know. Yeah, I know. And it's funny because even when I finish my shift, I'm still laughing, like, to myself in the car home when I'm driving back. It's one of those ones, man. So it's weird. It's weird. We're weird like that, man. Anyway, I wanted. This is probably like something you might want to run through, just like the last couple of questions, babe. You're really good at this.
All right, so it's good to have you on.
Thank you.
So we're just
Fucking
gonna finish off with a few questions and then wrap it up with some rapid fire questions that I'll get Jono to do, but I
Okay.
wrote it up.
Yep.
I'm gonna say something I'll regret.
Rapid fire. Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know, it's
No,
fine.
no, I'm kidding.
And then so we've got advice to your 18-year-old self, and why would you give that advice?
Advice to my 18-year-old self
good
would
one.
be learn how to trust people, like, earlier on,
Right.
because like I'm still
Really?
struggling. Like I think if I could learn those skills like a lot earlier, like I would be able to progress a lot more, like where I am today.
Now.
Right. Yeah, so I think that'll be important. I mean, leadership is important, like not just in business, but social aspects as well.
Yeah, right.
So that applies to like not just your business, like every like other
Yeah.
aspects of life, like
Everywhere,
trusting.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
good.
And I guess learning sales and marketing, because when you learn sales and marketing, you also learn about a lot about the human psyche. Yeah, so I guess that's the advice I would give, because I think when I was 18, I was still really hungry. I just didn't know what it was that I wanted to direct my energy to. 'Cause I didn't think of like inner beast until I was like in my 20s. So
Oh, right.
Okay.
Yeah, crazy.
so I was still like spinning around,
Spinning
like,
around in the back door.
spinning around
Sweeping the
back door.
seafood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Needing an outlet for my energy. Like, so it'd just go into the seafood.
Just go into the sea.
Yeah, I'd create like really beautiful prawns.
Like,
That's how I'd
you
do
lay
it.
it out on the display.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, fucking hell.
All right. So fast forward 10 years.
Okay.
Where would you like to be with your mental health?
My mental health. I'd hope to be a lot more how do I explain this? Like I guess, like, when it comes to mental health, my mind is like always racing.
Yeah, right.
And like it's pretty exhausting.
Yeah.
I think, like, now that I'm thinking about it, like I'm realizing how exhausting it is. 10
So,
Wow, okay.
so that pause there was realizing how fucking.
No, because I
Yeah.
really need to think about it.
Yeah, no, for
No.
sure.
For
Because
sure,
like
thank you.
for sure, I would like to be, a better person that I am today. But
Yeah.
I think I mean, I hope to
Like
I hope,
clarity?
I hope 10 years from now, like I guess there wouldn't be so much pressure.
Yeah.
It's just that
Oh,
in the whole
I see.
scaling
Yeah.
phase, like my mind is always racing.
Yeah,
Mm.
right.
And, because it's kind of like you're trying to figure out a puzzle, And
Yeah.
you know, you know, when you haven't figured out that puzzle, it's kind of, you know, irritates you until you figure it out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's me right now with scaling and with all the other business processes. Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to find that solution. Um, I haven't found the solution just yet, and it's always on my mind. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
10 years from now, clarity.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure you'll get that.
And then we've got physical health in 10 years.
Physical health. Well, I'd want to be doing more of like more cardio related things, because I do weightlifting, but I've only just recently started doing a lot of cardio because I'm training up to do the city to surf.
Nice.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, I went for a practice run like last week, and I just realized how bad my cardio is.
Yeah, when's City to
Um,
surf?
I'm not sure, but the entries open in April.
Right.
So, I mean, like, I can run the 14Ks. Well, I mean, not run, but like I can do the 14Ks. But
Yeah.
it's more like I want to be able to set a goal for the marathon and
That's gonna be lit.
achieve
gonna be
it.
mad.
But the goal that I'm setting is the 14Ks in an hour. So
Holy shit.
yeah, that's gonna be.
What's the average?
I
think it's a touch
I think
over
it's
that,
an
right?
hour and a half.
Okay.
An hour is like, so like for me to reach that, I'd need to be like,
Fucking
yeah,
That's like
I'd need to
Olympic
be-
tryouts, G, for Tokyo.
yeah. It's a pretty big goal.
Is that a
but,
world record? Like what
Nah,
are
nah.
you trying
He's
to
trying to
smash,
hit
like,
a world record.
Yeah, but it's not a world record, but it's more
Yeah.
like, you know, you really need to be fit to
For sure.
Yeah.
to reach that. So
Yeah.
that's a high goal for me because I don't do a lot of cardio. I
You've
used
got
to-
like more than 16 weeks to get that.
Yeah.
If yeah, I think it
Yeah.
happens in like June or July or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Since I've never done a marathon before, like I don't like really know what to expect because like,
Yeah.
you know, where I run on like pavement. It's like flat ground. Like
Yeah.
I know there's
Oh, at the city to surf, there's like
there's a
man,
hill.
what I heard.
Do you guys know what it's called?
It's
That
it's
hill? Heartbreak Hill.
yes, Heartbreak Hill. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
What a
one.
fitting name.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
on the way. I guess it's before you get to Vaucluse because it's like a long you go and I think you end up in Bondi, right? I think that's yeah. I don't know. It's just it's a 14K run. It's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you start at like some like Darling Harbour. I don't fucking know. You start somewhere, but you end around Bondi, so it's like full packed.
That's
But
so
yeah,
good.
man, that's hectic. That's hectic.
Yeah.
Any plans after that? Just like
Um,
to make sure you keep up the cardio,
yeah. I mean, I do want to do a sport. I used to do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I
Oh.
heard.
Yeah. Jono did jiu-jitsu like a few months back, and
Yeah.
like it got me like itching again, like to get back into.
Yeah,
it.
I'm trying to get back into it. I just can't afford it at the moment.
Yeah. So 10 years from now. Who knows?
Black belt.
Maybe I'll be maybe not a black belt, but maybe I'll be like a purple or a brown. But that would most like it seems like that's where I would kind of move
Yeah.
to in terms of a sport.
Yeah.
Like
That's
Really
good.
good cardio though. Like
Yeah.
it really trains your cardio on that
Yeah.
one.
It trains your brain. Like
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
true.
I'm not even there.
Brain training, yeah.
Can't do that. And then family, friends, relationships.
yeah, I'm really happy with like the friends who I have around me right now because yeah, I think like they're really good people. Like
For
you know,
sure.
shout out to the
Good.
homies. Like
You know who you are.
Yeah, and hey, 10 years from now maybe I'll have a family. Who knows?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Family, like as in my mom and my sisters. You know, I hope to stay close to them. We've
That's
we've
nice.
always been close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I don't think that anything will kind of tear us apart. If it is, and if it does, then 10 years from now, like I'm gonna re-listen to this, and I'm gonna take it on myself to kind of make sure like
Responsibility.
what the hell
Yeah.
happened.
What
Like,
the hell happened, guys?
Yeah.
Come on, yeah.
I didn't think that'll happen.
Sure.
My family's always been great. We've always been very close. So hope that it stays the same. Like
That's good.
or it stays the same or it becomes better.
Yeah.
And I don't
Yeah.
know if it can get any better. But if it does, then perfect.
For sure.
Also, and also going into family, so like intimate relationship with the missus.
Yeah.
Soon to be. Is it soon to be or?
Yeah, soon to be. Maybe I'm 28 now. By the time when I'm 38, I would assume I'd have kids already.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because my plan was like, before 35, I'll have, I'll have my first kid. I don't want to be too old when I'm raising kids, and I definitely want to have kids. So when I'm 38, I would hope to have like maybe 2 or 3 kids
Okay.
running around.
Yeah, right.
I'd plus me.
Yeah.
I'd be the
Fourth kid.
I'd be the fourth kid. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Any more after that? Like, is
Coco.
is three kind of like not even 10 years, like just in general, like
to be honest, like three kids is kind of stretching it. Like,
yeah. Oh, really? Stretching it?
well, only because like I think I'm a little bit of a kid myself. Like,
So
like-
you're the fourth.
yeah,
technically.
so I'll be the fourth kid. But 2 to 3 would be, I guess, my goal.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
That's,
sure.
that's good.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. And then we'll go with the last one. You don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but that's just spiritually.
Spiritually, I have a pretty good relationship with God.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good. Like okay, that's a lie. It's pretty bad, but I hope to be closer, like
Of course.
Yeah.
spiritually.
I think we all are, bro. I'm pretty.
Yeah,
alright.
I'm a bit. How's it going? Like,
Thank you for
when-
your honesty.
Yeah.
well, when I was raised like a Catholic, but as I got older, like, kind of got more and more distant.
Trying to figure yourself out for yourself, bro. I'm in that same boat, bro. We
Yeah.
spoke about it heaps. I remember at that time.
Yeah,
But yeah, I totally get you, bro.
yeah,
It's a progress. It's
yeah,
a work in progress.
yeah. And I hope 10 years from now, like, I actually do work on progress.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, because I guess ideally, like, I'd be closer.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Love that. Thank you
Oh,
for
is that-
answering
is that
those
the
ones.
question?
We're going to go to the rapid fire questions.
Bro,
Jono's
did,
gonna do
did you
this.
sorry, just before we get into this, I remember you talking about, like you had planned Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Was that this year?
Do
Do you have anything planned this year? Because I'm curious, because we got a thing booked for Bali later, and this whole Corona thing is just like everyone's like a bit on pause with everything.
We're recording this a
no.
few weeks
No.
before this releases. I just wanted to put that out to the listeners. So,
Yeah, this is coming
so
out.
this is coming out around what day?
By the time this comes out, it might be like early April.
When are
Yeah.
you going? Like,
We're going August, like
August.
mid-August, I believe.
okay, yeah.
I
so
thought
it might,
it'd be
it
all
might have died
goods.
down. Like,
Hopefully it's all goods.
Hopefully.
yeah.
But everyone's
'Cause
saying
it's
it's
still in
like
the early process or early
everyone's
stages.
saying it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
like 6 months is like
Yeah.
the bare minimum, and I'm like,
Yeah. Are you thinking of Canada? Like,
no, it's not that, because like every location is being like locked down.
yeah, I would like we don't have plans to go anywhere. We were
No.
supposed to.
Yeah.
Oh, you were?
We were
Okay.
actually gonna do Singapore, Hong Kong, Japan, and Korea.
Oh, wow.
Like, it was just gonna be this mega
Nice.
country hopping
Yeah.
thing, but then this whole coronavirus thing,
Corona thing,
like
and then
that
the Hong
went
Kong
out
thing.
the window.
Yeah.
And I like personally, like, I think it would be fine. Like, I would still go, but it's also like, are the places that we're gonna go, like, is it gonna be fun? Because like,
Yeah.
there's gonna be a lot of like tourist destinations which are gonna be completely empty.
Yeah.
It's like, part of the like part of the fun.
Whole
is,
experience
yeah,
is being
having
there with other tourists.
having a bunch of
totally.
people around you who are also having fun.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
if it's just you know, walking around Disneyland, and you don't need to line up anywhere because there's literally no one. Like, you know, it won't be that fun.
Yeah,
like, you know,
yeah.
part of the fun
You want to
is-
line up,
yeah,
right?
part of the fun is
You
getting
wanna line
yeah,
up.
part of the fun is
Waiting
getting
and
pissed
getting
off in line. You know?
having a punch on, you know,
Yeah,
it's part of the experience.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought I'd ask that, but as far as like the rapid fire questions, we'll dive into some now.
Alright.
Make sure
We've
you're reading
almost
the
wrapped
right
up on
one.
this. Yeah. Oh yeah, I am. So just answer as quickly as possible.
Uh-huh.
No, like 3 seconds.
like, yeah.
Whatever comes
Okay.
to mind.
Whatever comes to mind.
Alright.
Okay, so we'll get started. Reading or listening?
Listening.
Introvert or extrovert?
Introvert.
Night out or night in?
Night in.
Active income or passive income?
Passive income.
Assertive or aggressive?
Assertive.
Hard worker or smart worker?
Smart worker.
BJJ or weights?
BJJ.
Cardio or weights?
Weights for sure.
Indoor or outdoor?
Outdoor for sports.
Okay. Morning or night?
Is there a difference? Morning. my whole life,
him.
like
It's
my whole life, just feels like
It's a 24-hour
one-
clock, no night
yeah.
or day.
Yeah, I
7-Eleven.
yeah.
Creative or logical?
Creative.
And this one's for the listeners. What piece of advice would you leave them with?
Set a goal. Set a goal. Be consistent with moving towards it, and calculate your progress.
Yeah.
And listen to the 80-20 principle.
Huge.
Yeah, it really is life changing because it's a universal law. So like it's not just going to improve your business life. It's going to improve like your relationships with everyone else, because you'll start to see things from a different perspective.
Yeah.
So yeah,
100%.
yeah, set a goal, be consistent, be persistent, calculate your progress, and read and reread that 80-20 principle.
Yeah. Cool.
And there's also other books, but I don't
But that's the
don't
main
wanna-
ones. The
yeah,
main
that's
ones.
the
The
main
main
one,
ones. Main
okay.
takeaways. Yeah, that pretty much wraps up today, babe. Did you want to say anything before we
I
wrap
want
up?
to say thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you so much
thank
for
you so
having
much
me.
for-
This is really enjoyable,
Yeah.
and I appreciate I appreciate just having you guys on. And
But I, like the thing is, like, we appreciate you coming on. I know you're super
Yeah, you're
busy,
super
and
busy.
everything like that. But more importantly, like, there's going to be a lot of takeaways a lot of people get from this.
Yeah.
Hope
Hence
so.
why I wanted to have you on. And I'm sure there's going to be a time where we will link up again, and maybe your missus comes. We have a fourth setup,
Fourth
and then
setup.
we'll just
Yeah.
have a
We will have a fourth.
we'll
setup.
have a fourth
Yeah.
setup soon. It's something we're working on.
Yeah.
But one thing as well before I guess we let you go is obviously we're coming out with t-shirts. It's something that you've kind of helped me realize, or it's just an idea that you kind of helped like made that connection with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's something that I'm all in for. So whatever it is we ideate, but I want to give like everyone teas, like
Mhm.
obviously guests. So I'll backtrack and give people teas. When people hear this, it'll be we recorded it in March, but this might come out in April. But yeah, that's something what we're planning to do.
Yep.
So
Also
yeah,
going to do a blessed social night.
Getting
have
everyone
everyone
on.
Oh, like
together.
nice, like a networking.
yeah,
Oh,
like
that's
a
cool.
Have
network.
people together. They get
Yeah.
to talk to you.
Yeah.
Because a lot of
If you come
people,
through, you know.
because a lot of people have these like skills that like they just need opportunity. Like
Yeah.
now, like we need people like helping with this and helping with stuff. Like if we can like help someone kind of just do what their craft is and help them, like that's something we want to do, and that's something we're
Even
trying
like the ideas like that come up with like conversation. You just talk to someone and then they kind of spark that idea for you, and you're like,
yeah, it's huge.
and it
Wha-
just gets you going. So
Yeah, we got stuff that we're trying
Yeah.
to execute on. But yeah, the t-shirts, the social night that we're trying to
do you
get
want
on.
to plug your socials?
Yeah, did you want to plug any socials or anything like that?
Yeah, just Innerbeast Clothing.
At Innerbeast
At
Clo-
Innerbeast Clothing is my Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I don't have a YouTube. Like, a proper YouTube account yet, but
Yeah.
when it's up and running, it'll be in a Beast clothing as
Yeah,
well.
we'll add all of that into like the descriptions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I appreciate you coming through. Definitely a lot of
It's been
takeaways
great.
from
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Definitely have you on again. And we'll brainstorm about the whole t-shirts and stuff
Yeah,
like that. But yeah,
if you want me on again, it'll be great to tee up with you guys again.
yeah,
Yeah,
for
of
sure.
course.
And to kind of just see where we're at, like from when we started.
Yeah, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. All right, well, that pretty much sums up today's one.
Thank you,
Appreciate you
everyone,
guys
for
for tuning in.
listening.
Again, this is John from Inner Beast, and we'll probably link up again soon. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Take care. Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
See ya. Stay
Bye.
blessed.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.